All right, we're ready.
Good morning, everyone. This is Monday, September 13th, 2021. It's 10 o'clock, and this is our regular commissioner court. And we got here to talk about some agenda items. But first, before we get started, I want to welcome Miss Janet McMahon, pastor of United Methodist Church here in Newton, to open us up in prayer.
Gracious Father, we come before you praising your holy name because you are good and good to us. You are loving and giving us your love, and you're kind. We turn to you, Lord, with requests on our hearts now. We just ask, first of all, Lord, that you give each of us the kindly, loving spirit that you have, so that we work together for this community, for this county, and that we are in one consensus, that unity prevails, and that we guidance of those that are here today, Lord. We just ask for your wisdom, your clarity, and your guidance in making good, godly decisions on behalf of our community and county. And we just ask, Lord, that you bless richly each member that's here today and bless their families and be with them. And we ask all this in your name, Jesus, for you are holy and you're our Redeemer. And all God's people said, Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you. Before we get started here, I got a couple of reminders I want y'all to be reminded of. Our COVID numbers is inching up little by little, and we want to be make sure we protect ourselves and also others, and be mindful of our safety. Also, the potential rain event fixing to happen in the next couple of days. Be mindful of that in your neighbors. If you get maybe flooded in or something, so check on everybody there. All right. We call the meeting to order. We do have a quorum. And acknowledge any guests here today. And also, I've got a new assistant, and I want y'all to meet her, and Miss Elizabeth Henderson. Thank you. And we'll move on to a consent agenda, and y'all look over those items and ask for approval. Motion?
Make the motion that we accept the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Mr. White and second by Mr. Benson that we accept the consent agenda as presented. There's no discussion. All in favor? 4-0. Number 2 is deliberate and consider action on the following items. Number one is discuss and appropriate approved budget amendment for Fund 32-613-574, building construction. We've got Mr. Commissioner White down.
Yes.
You want to present that to us?
Sure. During our recent discussion around our budget for next year, we noticed that my building fund from our new maintenance building is in the wrong account, under the wrong fund. So we need to move that to the proper fund so that we can keep all our building correct.
I make that motion for the budget amendment.
I second.
Motion been made, Mr. Farmbee, second, Mr. Benson, that we approve the budget amendment for Fund 32-613-571 for the building construction. Any discussion? Not all in favor? 4-0. Number two, discuss and appropriate take action on denial appeal for Alice Davis, 2015 CDBG housing. Ms. Rhonda?
Yes, this is an appeal letter that we received. Her application, we received it on June the 8th. Going back and forth, we got all of her documents in, she was eligible. Her existing home sits on 2 lots. She was wanting to do the reconstruction of the new home on her new piece of property that she bought in 2016. Per HUD guidelines, we have to build a new structure from the old existing location. And I laid a letter from J.W. Turner. This one right here, showing his findings. Liz and I went out there, and then after we got the appeal, we had J.W. Turner to go out there to verify the situation, and from her that email, that's his findings. She's still adamant about putting home on the new construction, on the new property. Again, per the guidelines, we cannot do that. So at this time, unfortunately, we're going to have to deny the application. If it's by y'all's approval from her appeal letter and then the Turner's findings.
So you're saying new property, what does that mean?
Meaning, from J.W. Turner's findings, they attempted to find a survey from the new structure from the father's home that was built back in Harvey. And they're unable to locate that. And without a proper survey to determine the map findings and the pinpoint on the corners, there's no way we can determine if a house can be built there. Because her house sits on a part of her father's and her sister's lots. And her father's back ramp from his elevation butts up to her front ramps on her house. On the other side of her trailer, there is a big metal building that her brother owns. And just from the sewer septic system and everything being placed, if you can't determine from a survey, you don't know if there's even going to have room to build that home or not. Right now, she's on her father's septic system. So,
So she don't even own the land that their house was?
She owns a home. The mobile home was she actually had a mobile home replaced from Ike, and then that's the mobile home that got damaged. So that's another situation on another applicant we had back in 2016. So we just need to determine if we want to try to move forward. It's going to cost the county a lot of money because it's got to have a survey be done, and I'm not putting it out on county's budget. Ain't doing that. And the fact of it is, if J.W. Turner said we can do a survey, if they'll do it, But the question is, if they're gonna do a survey and it comes back and determines that a house can't be there, then we're gonna be out of pocket because we can't get a reimbursement on it.
So you asking us to deny that altogether, right?
Yes. Just from the findings that we've had, and Liz, and like I said, Liz and I went out there, we just can't determine if there is, not without a proper survey.
Don't they normally do a survey anyway on the
They do
property?
it when the house has been approved for GLO, then they go out there and do a survey. And at this point, we hadn't even got to the damage assessment, the environmental reviews, the historical clearance to even move her application forward to GLO to approve.
And when we see issues like this, we'll stop and get with the builder to help us do an assessment of, because we knew that the piece of property is so small that, we were gonna have issues with the sewer system, number one, because it's gonna be a 3-bedroom, 3-bath. So there's 3 people in the house. So, and Carl, just his opinion that their property is not big enough from what we know now, to put a sewer system for that size of a home. So what'll happen is if y'all uphold the denial, and then she'll be sent a letter, Rhonda will our standard letter, and then she can appeal up to GLO.
How much land does she own? You said 2 lots.
She has 2 lots, that kind of butts up to the sister's lots, but I'm not sure exactly how many acres are on there. It's enough to build a 3-bedroom, 2-bath,
The other lot.
but, on the other lot that she owns, but she didn't she didn't actually buy it until 2016.
It's after the event.
So it's after the event. And
So it's
I
not
don't
for a
want to
sister and
deny
father.
her, but the public guidelines says that they have to be built in the existing spot of the location of the damaged home is now.
Do you know where's that, Philip?
Yeah. Is she aware of all these situations? Okay.
Yeah.
And she didn't offer any
Well, I've
resolution?
even asked her if her father even had a survey from from Harvey Structure, which is what he's got, and she don't know. And she wanted us to contact GLO. I can't contact GLO because they're not gonna give me no information because I'm not the applicant. So, and I told her that it was up to her, for her father to contact GLO to see if they had a survey completed.
Okay.
If they
Good.
did, then, we could determine, but at this point, we
But
don't know.
they built her father a home there.
Right, the Harvey,
So it had to be surveyed, right?
it had to be, but
Yeah,
Well.
whether we know or not.
maybe and maybe
Maybe.
not. We don't, because it's not required.
Oh, it's not?
Our builder does it just for, a safety thing. Because y'all know what we've come
We got
across.
2 different guidelines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
so we don't know.
I feel if she's fully aware of the situation and she's not making any real effort to get information from her father or try and purchase, well, she can't purchase any more property, but she's had an opportunity to
Right.
help in this situation and she has not put forth, we've done everything we can. And the bottom line is that she don't meet the guidelines and we were trying to reach out. I think had brought this up before and had a discussion over it. We ended up tabling it because we wanted to give her an opportunity.
Mhm.
But as long as she's aware of all the factors and information and she's not making a,
I have had several discussions with her, and I keep a timeline on everybody's applicants for the Newton County. So,
Yeah,
every-
Philip, that house up there above Ronnie?
yes.
right.
Yes, they built her father that one right on the corner there, right across from that Tim's here. And it's on the back side there where that trailer is. Just the tight quarters there.
Yeah, because you can see where his back elevation ramp butts up to her ramp on the trailer. There's no room.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that other building on the other side,
What about if you built a smaller home? If you don't have the land for the 3-bedroom, Is there
Well,
enough
that's
land for
the
two
issue,
bedrooms?
because she has three in the family, in the household. It's her, a granddaughter of hers, which is under 18, and there's another gentleman. So you can't have all, the grandchild that's under 18 staying in the house, in the room with her or the gentleman, and then, or share a bathroom.
Different from when I was raised.
Right,
Yeah. These guidelines
yeah,
are, you
these
know,
guidelines are so much different.
Yeah.
So if we deny here, there's not the end of the world.
No. It's just y'all's approval to move it forward, and then she had the opportunity to go to GLO and make an appeal on that one.
Thank you, Ron. I hear a motion.
Make a motion to deny.
Second.
Motion been made by Mr. Palmer and second by Mr. White. We deny, take action on denial of appeal for Miss Alice Davis, on 2015 CDBG housing. Any discussion? Not all in favor? 4-0. Number 3, discuss and appropriate accept donation from Ponche Enterprise Incorporated. And we've got a deal going on here where Shannon went over his budget for the year, and he's willing to donate a large sum of his money back to the county. And so I just need y'all to accept that donation.
I'll make that motion.
A second.
Motion been made by Mr. Palmer and second by Mr. White. We accept the donation from Ponche Enterprises Incorporated. Any discussion? All in favor? 4-0. Number 4, discuss and appropriate approve the advertise for invitation to bid for demolition services for the CDBG 16 to 17 house buyout program.
this is the resolution of a question we've had since 2 months, trying to figure out what we're going to do. This is on the buyouts. We had some questions, some clarifications on if the builder could do it, or there were some questions about cost, how it was laid out. Wednesday, Tuesday. Anyway, one day this past week, we had a phone call with our grant manager with GLO, and she's come to the resolution after talking to some others at GLO that we have to do procurement for someone to demo these houses that are under the buyout for 16 and 17 under the buyout. So we're going to do it all together. So this is just for the court to authorize to advertise for this service, so we can move forward.
This is what's holding up the grant.
Holding up progress, yes. We've actually done some of the buyouts, but we've not demoed the ones that we've bought out yet because of this, because of this holdup.
When you get the info, the grant carry
Then
forward.
we can move forward, yes.
So this is one marked by now?
Yes, this is on the CDBG 16, and then the Harvey buyouts. This is under Trailer and Associates.
So how many have we bought out so
We
far?
got 4. Oh, we're at 4. We got 4 that's sitting there waiting to demo, and we've got to do a waiver of the time limit. So, and we've talked to Tina about that because it's been dragged, and we've got to do a letter asking for approval for the extension of time and all that. So,
Is this something the county can do? You get paid for? Well, you're talking about 4 homes, right? 4 homes?
No,
I have more than that.
there's-
we have more than that.
There's 4 that have already closed. There are several more that are heading going forward.
How many you talking about, 10, 15?
Probably 15.
would they be able to, do the septic tanks and all that kind of stuff? See, that was the.
That's part of it.
Yeah, the septic tanks have to be kept and, or
And
whatever.
as, I want a clarification on this. We previously procured for demolition, but the additional services such as capping the wells
Yeah,
and the
that's-
collapsing and filling in of the septic systems, we did not do line item bids for that. And so therefore, GLO is saying those would have to be change orders. And the cost of those change orders would put us above
Right.
the cap for that particular project based on the bid amount for the demo. And so GLO recommended the cleanest thing we could do was just go back and re-procure on it. But Mr. Bobby, to answer your question, I'm not positive, but I'll be more than glad to get an answer to you on that. That would be a possibility.
Fort might not want to do that. I mean, I just thought I'd ask that question.
This just for a bid right now.
Yes, what we'll do is, on the 30th, we'll open those and review to make sure that they're qualified and, then we'll, the pricing and all that.
So if it can be done, then county can put the bid in.
Can you put a bid in, or is it just time,
Would be,
like force account?
No, it would just be forced account where the county would be reimbursed the actual labor costs that they have in it, and then reimbursed for the equipment and dump fees and so forth. It would be a dollar for dollar reimbursement to the county. It would not be a bid on the county's part.
So if the court approved this, and then it would be, received on the 30th of September,
yes.
couple weeks. Okay. All right.
Hmm.
I hear a motion.
Make it one.
Second.
Motion been made by Mr. Bomby, second by Mr. Benson, that we approve the advertising for bid for demolition services for CDBG 16 and 17 housing buyout program. Is there any discussion? All in favor? 4. On 5, discuss and appropriate approve grant agreement with Texas Department of Transportation grant for routine airport maintenance program. The project's M222ONEWT.
This is our annual, grant from, for our airport. It's just, what it is any kind of maintenance that we do out there, maintenance, herbicide, lights, different things like that. They reimburse us 50%, just our routine maintenance that we do out there. And that's all it is. It's not, we're not actually applying for anything, and it is up to, I think it's up to 20,000 they allow, and then we would get like $10,000 back. So,
It's just a reimbursement.
yes, it's a reimbursement of any kind of maintenance we do out there is all, is what it is. I mean, it's stuff that we have to do anyway.
Right.
It's just, this allows us to get half of it back.
Be a blessing.
So any little bit we can get reimbursed is I think is good. Yeah, the total they allow is up to 20,000 and we get 10,000
Back.
Yeah. Get 10,000.
I'd make that motion.
Second.
Motion been made by Mr. Benson, second by Mr. White, that we approve the grant agreement between Texas Department of Transportation grant for routine airport maintenance program. And any discussion? All in favor? 4. Number 6, discuss and appropriate approve the participation into service agreement between the state automated victim notification service. Please.
And this is an annual grant that we have that is part of the DA's office and the sheriff's office. It's a renewal where they have these automated victims notification service. And we have to have this contract because it costs like $8,000 a year if they reimburse us quarterly on that for them to be able to have this program in their offices. And it's 100% reimbursement.
Take it out every 3 months, give it back.
And they try and give it, it's like $2,300 or something like that quarterly. And they reimburse us.
That's a guarantee.
Yes.
I like that motion, we approve the participating service agreement.
Second.
Motion been made by Mr. White, and second by Mr. Palmer, to approve item number 6. Any discussion? All in favor? 4. Number 7, discuss and appropriate approve amendment for the flood damage prevention order. Ms. Liz?
This is to amend the flood damage prevention order, Article 4, Section A, designation of the floodplain administrator. And it's to state that the county judge or his or her designee is the floodplain administrator to administer and implement the provisions of this ordinance and other appropriate sections. Last, or a couple of courts back, y'all designated the judge to be the floodplain administrator, so we had to update our floodplain prevention order for that.
And that'll go effective as soon as we vote on it?
Yes.
I make that motion.
Second.
Motion been made by Mr. Benson, second by Mr. White. We approve the amendment to flood damage prevention order. Any discussion? Not all in favor? 4. Number 8, discussion appropriate approving the mobilization of the transfer of the sensors and an agreement by the CRADA. Mr. Oldham?
I'm
Oh,
here.
yeah.
8 and 9 go together. I think it was about 2 years ago, the county became part of the Southeast Texas Flood Control District. And through that, Jefferson County got 125 flood sensors, and they are in possession of them. And in order for us to get them, we had to sign this agreement with Jefferson County for the sensors. And then the other one is an agreement to share that data that they produce. So this is just an agreement. We haven't picked them up yet. We're supposed to get 5. And they recommended putting 4 in service and keeping 1 for a spare. So that's where we are on that.
Where are you gonna locate these?
I looked at 4 different places. We looked at the Little Cow Creek Bridge up on 2991. The only thing, they have to be above flood water. They can't get wet. And so they also have to have cell service. And Tick is saying there's not much cell service there. And I went up there and looked at the location there on the bridge that belongs to TxDOT, and that will be another agreement. We'll have to come back and do an agreement with TxDOT once we work the details out with them. But Judge and I talked about Cow Creek, and so we'll have to decide which bridge there on Cow Creek to try and put that, because again, the sensor has to stay above the flood water on that, and we should have cell service, shouldn't be any problem. Looked at Nichols Creek Bridge down there, but there's not much cell service, so I'm not sure we're going to be able to put one there. And then Cypress Creek Bridge on 87 down there, trying to hit it because Cypress Creek backs up, goes Shepherd Road real bad, and those houses are back there. And that's the things we had looked at. We hadn't really decided on anything yet. We're going to have to talk to TxDOT and see what they require, whether we can. They have put them at other locations, in different counties. They've used their bridges, they've agreed to it, but they have some specifications as to how they want them mounted, where they want them mounted, so we'll just have to look at that. They come with 50 feet of lead from the sensor itself down in the water to the responder unit, and we can get another 50 feet, make it 100 feet, but that's the total length we can go from the mounting locations.
The county will be the controller over these.
Yes, and this data, again, with the data agreement, what it does is this information will feed into One Rain that Sabine River Authority has, and I don't know if y'all have been to that website that shows rainfall, river levels, and all that information. When we add these sensors in there, it will just add to the different sensors that they already have on the river and at different locations.
Now, what kind of maintenance are we looking at, or any?
Not supposed to be any, have a solar panel on them. And they, like, I guess they do have a battery in it somewhere, but, you know, somewhere down the road, that battery may go out. But it's, once we get to mounted, vandalism is what they're afraid of, depending on where it's located. They recommend putting a sign there that it is a sensor, a flood sensor. And so
Maybe leave them alone.
we hope.
So is that something we could add to our insurance policy?
We might, I hadn't thought about that, Judge. It's, see what insurance, whether they could be insured or not.
Yeah, they out there all by themselves and
Yeah.
anything could happen.
There's going to be a little cost involved. The sensors are free, but they recommend running all the cable is just small, like a Cat5 cable, running that in conduit and putting it on whether, fixed stock requires metal or wood or whatever, we'll have to have a post and then some conduit to run. They're saying that most of the time it's running less than $100 a sensor to install those.
Who would install them? We hire somebody or you?
With a helper.
You're the helper, right?
With a helper.
Yeah.
I'll come help you. I keep the snake off of it. I make that motion.
Second.
Motion been made by Mr. Benson, second by Mr. White, that we approve the item number 8. Any discussion? All in favor? 4. Thank you. Discussion appropriate, approved data plan agreement with Southeast Texas Flood Control District.
Yes, that's the data that these sensors produce. We have to share it and we have to make it. This is just an agreement that we will.
Make that motion, Mr. Benson.
Yeah.
Mr. White.
And Ms. Courtney's looked over these agreements. She reviewed them and said they were okay.
Okay, Mr. Benson made the motion and Mr. White second. We approve item number 9. Any discussion? All in favor? 4. Number 10, discussion appropriate approved communication side agreement with Texas A&M Forest Service for Mayflower Tower.
Yes, this is just a renewal of the agreement. It expired with the Texas Forest Service for the use of the fire tower where we have our Mayflower repeater, our equipment on it, and this is just a renewal of that agreement.
Make a motion.
Second?
Motion been made by Mr. Bomby and second by Mr. White that we approve the communication side agreement between Texas A&M at the Mayflower Tower. Any discussion? All in favor? 4. Number 11, discuss and appropriate submit nominee for the board of directors for the Newton County Appraisal District. And this is Mr. Avant has decided he would retire, and he recommended a person by the name of Robert Kaiser. Is that right? And so I just need y'all approval for his nomination for that board.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion been made by Mr. Palmer and second by Mr. Benson that we submit that nomination to the board of directors for Newton County Appraisal District. Any discussion?
Was Robert, what was that last name?
Cheshire, K-E-S-T-E-R, Cheshire.
Yes.
Do y'all know him, Sam?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Number 12, discuss and appropriate approve the 2022 sheriff and constable fee. As I don't think there's gonna be any changes, is that right?
That's what I understood. KK is sick, and so she had asked me to print this out in, I think was it a couple of years ago, we went over these and updated them, got them, more on the level. And so, if y'all agree, we're just not gonna do any changes, and then we can submit, whoever I'm supposed to submit these to, the comptroller.
Yeah.
Y'all have a copy in y'all.
Yeah, so
Y'all want a table, or y'all just look at them, or?
you make that motion?
And we have to do this before October 1st, so we can do it at the end of the month.
Here's a second. Motion been made by Mr. Farmy and second by Mr. White that we approve the 2022 sheriff and constable fees. Any discussion? Not all in favor? 4. Number 13, discuss and appropriate approve contract for court election service. Christie, Christie, there you go.
Bill Closure stopped by the office last week and everyone was in court, so he left a contract that we get signed every year between NetData and GHS, and they're the ones that do the collections for the JPs and the county clerk's office, anybody that uses the credit cards. And all this is a contract for renewal. It's the same contract that we always renew.
So if I had a ticket or something and I want to pay it by credit card, then there would be a service fee or collection fee. You know how much that fee is?
Just from reading, it says 20% of the imposed fees on the unadjudicated offenses, 30% of the imposed fees or fines on, let's see. That was before June 18th. 30% of the imposed fees and fines on unadjudicated offenses occurring June 18th, 2003. So I assume 20 and 30%, depending on which kind of fine it is.
Do we, and I'm sure you don't know this.
I don't know either.
Okay, I'm asking you something you can't answer. Well, I was just for the court's information, I was just wondering what the percentage was being paid by credit card. So we kind of determined by that 30% that we're paying for services that.
Right.
Now, if a citizen uses their credit card, the citizen pays that fee, not the county.
Okay.
Yes. So like you pay your taxes or your fines or anything like that with a credit card, and you use your credit, you pay that fee, not the county.
It's a little high, 20 and 30%.
I think this is, and I don't know who should be presenting this. I thought Christie had talked to him about it. So that might be something we need to get some clarification on, but this has to be done.
Well, Bill did say that if y'all wanted to discuss it further, he would be more than happy to come to court.
Who was that?
Bill Lozier.
He's with NetData.
I would like
We need to
to,
get some more information because
I would like
it
to-
came up fast and I didn't get a chance to look at it again. And Christie didn't have it. Christie was like, why is my name on here? I said, well, you brought it over here.
But I don't know why.
We could get some answers before next court, very, very simply, yeah.
Set him up for your next date if you want to, because he said it was no major hurry or anything. And he can come and explain this to you.
We're kind of high.
I move that we table item number 13. Motion been made by the judge and second by Mr. Bombi that we table item number 13. Any discussion? Not all in favor? 4. Number 14, discuss and appropriate approve the accept the 2020 Newton County Commissioner Annual Road Report, precinct 1, 2, 3, 4. And so you want us,
Morgan, no. Between me and Morgan, because we had tabled this last month. Between me and Morgan, we've got the reports. This is gonna be y'all's copy. And the certification needs to go to the state, but this needs to be done like quickly. So this is a copy. I did see something on there I need to go in there and fix for 21. It still shows Commissioner Fuller for precinct 1, so I will go in there and fix that. And put Commissioner Benson on there. These were prepared by Ms. Puz, and I mean, I don't know what all goes in here, so we're gonna have to discuss how we're gonna do this for next year, but that's at a later date. But she's done them before. She's got the information here down for y'all. So if it looks pretty close to right, we can get these done. If we come back and find an error, I'm sure there's a way to do an amended report somewhere that I can find. And then the DA's needs these also, needs this information also.
I mean, I wouldn't know anything about
Right.
these numbers. Commissioners only would know this, so.
Yes, and then y'all will each get a full copy. So my next thing is don't run off because y'all are gonna have to sign a bunch of paperwork. I will give y'all a full copy of everything. And so we can get this submitted. If y'all come across some kind of error that you might see, just let me know, and then we'll figure out a way to get it amended. So, but we've got to get this done because it's about to be late.
Your motion.
I'll make that motion to accept the annual road report.
That's second.
Motion been made by Mr. Palmer, second by Mr. White, that we approve and accept the 2020 Newton County Commissioner Annual Road Report for all 4 precincts. Discussion. All in favor? 4. Number 15, discuss and appropriate approve the 2020 TxDOT road mileage certification.
And that goes along with this one. That's the certification that I have to send to give to Ms. Courtney. And she has some things that she has to do with that also. There's actually a letter that was prepared to give to her.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion been made by Mr. Palmer, second by Mr. Benson, that we approve the 2020 TxDOT road mileage certificate. Any discussion? All in favor? 4. Number 16, discuss and appropriate select winning bid for ITB number 2021 G16 precinct 4 road material.
I spoke with Miss Jana Thursday or Friday, maybe Friday. But anyway, we had tabled this last week, so Mr. Jean could look at the bids very carefully. And so she said that he wants to, the winning bid is Vulcan at $34 a ton. And he wants that to be approved so he can get started.
I make that motion.
That's second.
Motion been made by Mr. Benson, second by Mr. White, that we approve selecting bid for precinct 4 road material. Any discussion? If not, all in favor? 4. Number 17, discuss and appropriate approve to rescind all cell phone allowance paid for Newton County employees and have all the cell phone returned deactivated by October 1st, 2021, with the exception of the sheriff's office, constables, emergency management, and the judge's office. Mr. White.
Okay, during our commissioners meeting, previous commissioner meeting, during a budget workshop, we were discussing, any possible, reduction in cost to the county for next year. 2022 is what's going to be a challenge, a larger challenge than we've had in the past. And one of the things that was brought up, the amount of cost it is to furnish cell phones to certain departments and employees and those kind of things. I think back when we approved these cell phones, they had several things going on. We were integrating our communication systems, and we also were informed about DECOG's broadband services and whatnot. So as we know, in certain areas, we have problems receiving calls. And so for the time being, we felt like this would be a good start for us to rescind the cell phone program, and except for, of course, the sheriff, the constables, and the management, the emergency management groups, which they were, definitely need cell phones to properly conduct their situations. So that we wanted to bring that before the court and for any discussions and try to get that approved.
Okay, let me add one item to that. I know we've been named out as sheriff and constable and emergency management. This phone service, if all other things fail, this service is supposed to continue. So in the emergency management, in a disaster, it's a must that I, Olin, and the sheriff and them is in correspondence, in communication. So that's the reason we reserve those phones.
JP, you okay with JP's not being on there? They okay with it?
Or on
Okay. I'll make that motion.
One second. No, he was just asking a question about the JPs, if they would be okay with them, but they all have cell phones.
They are gonna have cell phones or not?
Their own person. No, the sheriff, the constables, and the emergency management groups are the only ones that we, at this time, going to provide phones for.
Motion been made, Mr. Palmer, second, Mr. White, that we approve the rescinded on item number 17. Any discussion? All in favor? 4-0. Number 18 and 19 and 20 is extending the disaster. And I would like for y'all to continue the COVID-19 disaster, the Laurel disaster, and the winter weather disaster to October the 12th.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion been made by Mr. Columbia and second by Mr. Benson that we lump 18, 19, 20 as a disaster declaration all together to extend to October the 12th, 2021. Any discussion? Not all in favor? 4-0. Number 21, discuss an appropriate approved fee agreement between the Randall Law Office in Newton County for tax abatement concerns. This is guiding us through tax abatements. If our ward were to come to Newton County, and he would appropriately advise us in the time frame and advise us through this process. Your motion?
I'll make that motion.
That's second.
Motion been made by Mr. Plummer and second Mr. White to approve the free agreement on item number 21. Any discussion? All in favor? 4. Number 22, discuss and appropriate approve resolution supporting the Alabama Coshawta Tribe of Texas and Nacosha Gaming. And so So that's just a resolution that we support them. Hear a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second. Motion been made, Mr. White, and second, Mr. Palmer, that we approve that resolution, item number 12. Any discussion? All in favor? 4-0. Number 23 is discuss an appropriate budget amendment for the IT contract through December 31st, 2021. We have entered into a contract with Mr. Shannon. He has used up all his available money. And so for him to continue, we'll have to have a budget amendment to his contract and spell those out if so desired. Shannon, do you have anything you want to input?
I just walked in, so sorry.
We was talking about your budget amendment for the IT contract through December 31st. And I explained to him that the money we had set aside for you had run out, and we want to have a budget amendment to continue on through December 31st and spell those guidelines out, which we have to operate.
Okay. I guess I would add that in order to follow through throughout the rest of the year, if we're going to make it according to the contract, that's what we're going to do. We're going to have to, set some terms and hours as appropriate to, reduce it down to what's in the contract. If that's what y'all want to go along with, or let me know.
There has been, I think, a little bit because of his availability, people, calling him up and say, well, come help me do this. And of course, he'll work for free. And so I think we'll have to start limiting those phone calls and for help. I think we want to experience some of that difficulty on our own. So I'm open for questions and answers here.
There's also a lot of things that go beyond just office help. There's also a lot of vendors that I'll call, take calls from and call to, and I'll just call out Liz. Before, when you were in the auditor's office, you probably received a lot of calls from vendors before, right? Net Data, Windstream, A's, TNT. I receive all those calls now, or I call out to them, right?
Right.
So somebody's going to have to start doing that at this point going forward if we're going to do that. The printer companies, all of those.
Yeah.
There's also the security stuff. I was going to show a thing if y'all wanted. If you got a second.
Yeah.
Also in, folder that I shared with y'all, all under Commissioner's Court. Under cybersecurity, just one little thing I pulled up this morning, just to kind of get a brief idea of the things we look at on a daily basis. I'll share that on the screen here, and that way people online can see it also. Should be showing now. This is just any given day, any given time for our cybersecurity. This is threat prevention in our firewall with about a 10-minute time frame for the courthouse firewall, not all the others, you can see Russia, Bulgaria, Germany, and Ukraine all trying to get into the courthouse.
Bless that heart.
I barely have the tools, the money, and the time to fight Russia. Really don't. But it takes time to try to monitor these things. So beyond trying to help the county, the people, training, resetting passwords, printers, all the different things, I'm trying to monitor all of this. So it goes far beyond all the daily things.
Well, that's a lot of stuff that we can do, right, Shannon? Like if we need to change a password, we can change our own password.
Yes, please do.
Yeah.
But there's a problem. 9% of the people don't want to. They say it's not their job. Someone argued with me the other day about it. I'm not gonna fight people.
Yeah.
Not gonna do it. They say it's not their job. I would love for people to reset their own passwords. I give them that permission. That's part of our security, to reset your own password. But to reduce time for the county and expenses, we'd have to reduce security. So that would be one of our things that we probably need to do, is kind of back off of all of this stuff and kind of go back in time 10 years. Stop doing passwords like we've been doing the last couple of years. Just let people do. And then they won't need to call me as much probably. But that's the.
Yeah, I think if we come to agreement on this, I think we should send out an email form to advise people how and when to do that. Sherry, could you answer the question if we had a budget amendment and knowing what the expense would be between now and December, where that money would come from?
It would have to either come in from the unbudgeted amount that we have or the contingency. That's what we have to do the line items. So
Well,
we have right at 100,000 unbudgeted, and then we have about 350,000. So we could pull that out. And if we kept on going the way we are going, it would be 65,000 to finish them out the rest of the year. Versus we paid.
Well, when it says a budget amendment, I'm sure the board will know where we're going to get that money from.
That's what the two
Okay. Okay, here a motion.
I'll make it.
I'll second.
Motion been made by Mr. Palmbie and second Mr. White that we approve the budget amendment for the IT guy through contract through December 31st, 2021. Any discussion?
I wanted to add something, just, it sounds like you're approving through the end of the year. So workshop is Wednesday, and further discussions about next year need to be had by everybody on what, limiting it or finding somebody else to do it or whatever it might be for next year. So just to clarify, that's just to get through the rest of this year, and either get through a smooth transition to someone else or, just figure out the plan for next year. That everybody needs to be ready to talk about that Wednesday.
Yeah, and thank you, Ms. Courtney, because that was just through December 31st of this year. And then we'll take that up in the workshop Wednesday as continue or approve. Okay, motion been made, Mr. Palmbie, and second, Mr. White, we approve that. All in favor? We're gonna move down to item number 26, discuss and appropriate accept donation from SRA Authority for Economical Development. And that's a donation for the economical development from SRA.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion been made, Mr. Palmer, and second, Mr. White, that we accept that donation from SRA for the economic development projects. Any discussion? None? All in favor? 4. Move back up to 24, discuss and appropriate approve the budget, reimbursement, agreement number 1.
I've got 1 and 2 put together.
We're going to put it together, just give them out. If you don't mind. Here, motion?
Make it motion.
Second? Motion been made, Mr. Palmer, second, Mr. White, we approve the reimbursement agreement number 1. Any discussion? All in favor? 4. Likewise, on 25, it'll be a reimbursement number 2.
Make it motion.
Second.
Motion been made, Mr. Palmer, second by Mr. Benson, that we approve the reimbursement agreement number 2. Any discussion? All in favor? 4-0. Number 27 is payment of bills. Mr. Moore?
General fund, 1,149.62. District Attorney State Fund, $3,332.82. Road and Bridge General, $76,977.15. Road and Bridge Precinct 1, $111,621.77. Road and Bridge Precinct 2, $33,878.84. Road and Bridge Precinct 3, $33,840.13. Road and Bridge Precinct 4, $68,274.60. Courthouse Security, $938.05. VAW Grant, $5,202.20. Commissioner Special Precinct 1, $30,004.85. Commissioner Special Precinct 2, $100,850.77. Commissioner Special Precinct 3, $30,906.65. Commissioner Special Precinct 4, $34,983.23. Dedicated Road Precinct 2, $9,721.92. Record Preservation, $818.76. Sheriff Contraband, $2,396.30. Solid Waste Disposal, $30,680.15. Voter Registration, $4,057.29. County Library, $13,175.63. Historical Operating, $4,290.81. District Attorney Contraband, $699.99. Records Management, $352.84. Grants, $37,635.47. Technology Fund, $580.12. Total of all funds, $1,205,369.96.
Your motion?
Make the motion to pay the bill.
Second the motion. Pay the bill.
Motion been made by Mr. White, and second by Mr. Benson, that we authorize the payment of the bills. Any discussion? All in favor? 4-0. Your motion to adjourn.
Make that motion.
A second.
Motion been made by Mr. White, and second by Mr. Benson, and we adjourn 5 minutes after 11. Thank you all.